HA Goodman.
HA Goodman ain't no sellouts.
That means they
Oh, they
heard.
hear you now. They hear you now.
Oh yeah, I fixed it. Yeah, I fixed it.
Okay, good.
It's just a pain in the ass, man. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to No Sellouts, guys. I appreciate you being here. Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube in the house. Can you hear my friend H.A. Goodman? I think you said yes, but I'd like to make sure.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear everybody? And did you hear
Yes.
the little clip of Jimmy Reefer Cake doing the No Sellout official introduction?
Jimmy Reefer Cake is awesome.
My brother.
He is awesome.
My brother. That's right, man. Ain't nothing like getting love from your friends, man.
You don't usually hear the name H.A. Goodman in a soulful manner. Usually it's H.A.
Man, you got people like, coming up to me, man. Look, when I was in D.C., somebody came up to me and said, Tim Black. I was like, wow, that's an H.A. Goodman. And he watches
I
No
have
Sellouts.
to do it. Tim Black.
H.A. Goodman in the house. So, oh, man, speaking of friends, though. Oh, dude, I saw your debate with Benjamin Dixon.
It was a great discussion. I think that it was a great discussion, and I look forward to you debating Ben. I know that it got pretty nasty on Twitter. I know that there's a lot of, there's some unfinished business that you and Ben have to talk about. And I was also, the WikiLeaks debate, I wanted to see two, opposing sides, and Tim Black, one of the great progressive voices out there defending WikiLeaks. But you're one of the great voices in politics, Tim. So I wanted to see you defend WikiLeaks from, people on the left who view the truth in a different way that we do. So, you know what? It was between Alex and Ben, Alex Rubenstein and Benjamin Dixon. Those were two good debates, and I want to see Tim Black debating. I think you easily defeated Sam Cedar. I know that, but you should have been like, that should have been not just audio, like not just a phone in. Like he should have had you on his show.
Yeah. If he's going to go to my YouTube page and start pulling up stuff and, comment on stuff that he sees on my YouTube, it kind of went off the rails. And very ironically, his supporters didn't have a problem with it. They thought that was fair ground for him to be able to have a guy chime in and be able to go on the internet and pull up stuff, But, hey.
Can I tell you? Because let's put it this way. You have more game than I do, and you're more courageous than I am, because I'll tell you something I learned from this. Like, if someone said, yeah, I'll debate you, but you got to call in, the chances of me doing it are slim, unless I really have to, because when we're talking and I can see you, you can see me. And then the funny thing is, like, you actually have a beautiful set, Tim. You have you have a monitor there. I just found out, because I have this fear. I really do have this fear of technology. I don't have Imran Awan. I don't have Imran Awan. I don't have Brian Pagliano. Right. I don't have my own tech staff. So I wanted by the FBI. But so I just found out, streaming is pretty easy, and Google Hangout works like a charm, because the funny thing is, it's so no nonsense that goes back and forth. And that's the moderator is actually the clicking of the. So, if you can't debate with you looking at the person who with the opposing viewpoint, it's almost like, and that's why that's like a dick move, like to just call in. You have a show with over 100,000 subscribers, so at least the courtesy to call in to actually have you there. But it's important to, I just think that it's important to debate. There are people who the philosophy from the left is so fractured. The funny thing was, one time during the debate between Ben, he was saying, well, I got blocked by Neera Tanden, and I got blocked by, but so did I. I got blocked by, not only did I get blocked by Neera Tanden, Joan Walsh told Salon not to publish me. But the interesting thing is, it's like, there are people blocked by the same establishment But you and I, whereas you are like a much more pure, let's say, progressive message than me. We actually we see that the DNC is they brought us everything that we don't like.
Yeah.
So, and it's just so difficult to it's so difficult. And also, Twitter is not a place, man. Twitter's not a place to discuss big ideas.
Right.
Twitter's a place to share your YouTube segment like I do, like, spam it a million times.
Yeah, man. I will give props to those guys, Rubenstein and Dixon showing up to actually debate. That was a very cool thing. I am waiting on Dixon to decide if he's going to do this. He said he wasn't willing to do it right away. So we'll see, and that's up to him if he's going to back up his words. I definitely want to talk to him about WikiLeaks. I definitely want to know why I'm a coon, because I believe WikiLeaks has valid points, and I believe in their accuracy and everything that's been reported. So I would very much like to hear that, and I'd like for him to defend that position, and also defend the position that we need to bring, sort of like this, a racial element to every conversation. I mean, I really don't get why I was a coon. Because Julian Assange is white, or WikiLeaks is mostly white organization. I guess I don't know the people. What's the makeup, the racial makeup? But this type of I dealt with this a lot during the primaries, where the Hillbots call us coons, or call blacks who supported Bernie coons, as if Hillary wasn't a white woman. So I just really want to know, like, in what way I'm a coon, and how, like, and what does it mean when his followers retweeted that? Like, he has white followers who retweeted him calling me a coon, and they thought it was funny. So I really like to know, because I think I heard in your debate he brought up something about, people who follow you being alt-right or something. Well, what about people that follow him who think it's okay to call a black man a coon? Like, why is that okay? So, these are just, I like for him to talk about it with me live on air.
I think as a human being, he owes a discussion to you regarding what took place. And that's the thing. I mean, the sentiment behind that what went on there. If anyone is the revolutionary message in this, it's you. You're the one. You have the revolutionary message that's tearing down the structure.
And maybe he doesn't want it tore down.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, there are people. Look, there are people on the left that don't want it torn down. And so, if you don't want it torn down, then that is not establishment. That is not working for the establishment. I mean, I'm sorry. If you want it torn down, you're not working for the establishment. You're trying to destroy everything.
Right.
The funny thing is, what could destroy everything more than left and right at certain times meeting, whether it's anti-war or police or prison reform or marijuana
labels, bro. Like, yeah. I know why you just stated that, so I'm not directing this to you, HA. But F the labels. Who cares about labels? That's part of the problem. That's all that divisionary tactics that's used by the establishment to keep us thinking these people are all right. Like, most people are not on Twitter to even understand the context of what that even means. Some people may say they're alt-right who don't even, who have no clue. Like, we're not even agreeing on what the terms mean, and then we're distancing ourselves from people and pushing them and othering them away from us as if, we have a leg to stand on as well. I mean, look, anyone who wants to help me build or rebuild or better form what we have currently in areas that we can agree on, that we agree on. I don't agree. You know what? I'm not even going to go through the whole tired thing of, making all these damn set-asides. Like, obviously, I don't support this, and obviously I don't. Why should I have to do all that? I shouldn't have to keep, like you say, HA, keep on defining myself so people don't get it twisted. If you think I support the KKK, well, fine, man. Go F yourself, because, like, I'm tired of explaining that if I agree with somebody on something and they agree with me on something, we should work together. That should be, like, a natural thought. Like, no one should have to explain that. That's obvious. Like we both agree that this car needs to get out the road, and both of us are going to push it out the road. And if he goes home and does something that I don't have anything to do with, like, I don't know, kick his dog or yell at his wife or call his kids names, I don't co-sign that just because we both pushed the car out the middle of the street. And that shouldn't be something that people don't get. And I think it's disingenuous that that people are pretending like they don't understand that concept. They get that concept, HA. These are intelligent people. They get the concept. They just don't want to get it because they want to be right, and it's at the expense of the truth.
They don't want to get it also. And the thing is, for me and for you, if we could legalize marijuana tomorrow throughout the country, I'll work with anyone to do that. And I actually, if I can legalize marijuana or change or transform the prison industrial complex so there is no huge racial component, or people aren't locked up just for walking around with a joint. Okay. I posed this question to Ben, and I tried to make it personal because I didn't want to always say, oh, well, would you save a black child's life by working with Cernovich, which he really wouldn't answer. So he wouldn't answer that question.
Gracious, man. What did Cernovich do? Like I'm not trying to make this a conversation all about Cernovich because there's other shit to talk about. But God, man, is this guy like murdering? Did he murder someone or something? Like, what is all of this? Like, this guy is like the third rail. I mean, gosh, it's like the people who said don't go talk to Trump, right? Like,
Exactly.
I don't understand like that concept. Like, he's the president. Trump's the president. And these people, I bet you Ben was one of those people saying, don't go talk to Trump. I don't care. Don't go talk to him. We need to stay here in our defiance of him. Meanwhile, that's not going to get him impeached, and he's going to be the president. So if you get an opportunity to air grievances, if you get an opportunity to make a case for why he should do XYZ, whatever program or whatever initiative that you want to pass, even if he doesn't, at least you took the opportunity to make the claim and state your claim. And that's what I think. I mean, I don't know, man. I could be wrong, but I think that's Ben is on that side of the equation, and I don't get that. Like, how does that help? How does that help poor black people in the hood, man? Like, how does that help poor white people in Appalachia? How does that help anybody except the Democrats?
Exactly.
I don't see like how it helps a solution, a problem.
Exactly. Exactly. And I tried to make it kind of personal to me, because I said, look, let's say there's a person out there who has a following, and there happens to be a YouTube personality that he does a lot of good work, but, flawed on history. So I like his thoughts on politics, even though I don't agree with him. See, the thing is, like, you and I, we can actually appreciate, another viewpoint and not have to like morph into that viewpoint. Like we can appreciate good, bad. It doesn't define us. We don't live by labels, and we breathe air, we live life, and we try to do the right thing. But also we understand that people who differ from us are human beings also. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. And so but I said, look, this person doesn't, in my view, even though has a good grasp of politics, very interesting to listen to, doesn't have the correct understanding of history relating to the Holocaust. Okay? So I said, although I would say, hey, here's literature, and here, I mean, I actually did a segment on why Trump is not Hitler, and I read from a book called, I remember we talked about this a while back, The Good Old Days. It's actually a book compiled by 3 German historians of Nazi executioners actually killing children and talking about what it was like to kill these children and kill these families and women and everything. And it's a book like 280 pages long of just recollections, because they would actually send postcards to their family of pictures of dead bodies and stuff. So I would say here's the literature, learn, read up on this, because you're flawed. Like you're flawed on, 6 million Jews dying, the gas chambers, all these things. You need to learn this. But if that person actually went ahead and was doing something that would help an elderly Jewish community, because there are elderly Jewish people throughout the country that are poor. So if I said, what I'm saying is, if for some reason they did something like a speaking tour that happened to help a community that had elderly Jewish people in it, and I knew that that person's speaking tour might make some businesses around there benefit, or something where an elderly Jewish person could benefit, I said I would work with that person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then instantly, because the greater good, and actually, like, even in the Jewish religion, if you want to get into, like, I'm not really religious, but if you want to get into the religion thing, you always want to do a good deed. Even, I'm sure, Christianity, Islam, you always want to do a good deed.
In that
right?
Concept, right?
It's a basic concept, right? So Ben's vantage point is no. And there's other people who you could work with. And the second after the debate, some moron or a couple morons on Twitter went, HA would work with Nazis. And the hilarious thing is that the whole premise was elderly Jewish people benefiting. So yeah, so they hate Nazis so much that they would ensure that elderly Jewish people do not benefit from any collaboration with the right. This is the mentality. It's strategery. It's called strategery.
It's just not real life, man. Real life, we don't do all this checks and balances. A good tweet's a good tweet. A person who's speaking truth that you agree with is just, that's all they're doing. This is all hypothetical in a way, because I don't even know if it's actually happened, where people felt like, ooh, we're working together. Me and this alt-right person and me are working together now. Like, I haven't seen it happen. All I'm saying is I'm not totally closed off to it on issues that we agree on. And I think any other way to be, any other mindset, H.A. Goodman, is just it's not progressive in my opinion. I don't think, that's just me. Maybe not say progressive. I don't think that is the best way to go. I don't think that's the best a winning strategy, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But once again, I'm not sitting here claiming that I'm a Democrat. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm trying to rebuild the Democratic Party or any of that. I'm just saying, if there's an issue, I'm issue based for the most part, HA. And I believe that if we can solve some of these issues that I care about, that hell, man, who am I to turn down assistance? Who am I to turn down voices or whatever to get that done, man?
And that's the thing. I agree with you. There is actually an alt-right that people confuse with conservatives. So most people online think that if you're conservative, you're alt-right, or if you say something crazy, then you're alt-right. Like the Richard Spencer type person, and I wouldn't even know the guy's name if it wasn't for Slate and like the social justice warriors. So I don't know, who the real alt-right is.
Right.
They actually, if you are a true alt-right from that definition, you believe that Black and Jews or anyone else, Latinos, are inferior. You truly believe they're inferior to white people. If I get email messages all the time on YouTube or definitely on Twitter, like, hey, Cernovich is not even alt-right. Like, he's like more, or maybe he's alt-right, but he's not a racist. I'm getting people, he's not a racist. If he says crazy things that I disagree with his views on Black Lives Matter. I disagree with his whatever he wrote about rape or whatever. I disagree with those things. Mm-hmm. And Caitlin Johnstone and I and you, no one is ever saying that we agree with anything crazy but Cernovich is not Richard Spencer.
Yeah, it's just that HA, I hate to interrupt, but Cernovich did make a statement. He sent out like a tweet saying, I moved to the right or I moved to the alt-right because of something. I remember a tweet. Like, I didn't see it originally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know. It came to my attention much later when someone sent it out. So, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the weird thing too with these labels, because then I get these messages because I don't really know, like, then I get, no, I'm new right, not alt-right. And then alt-right, but then there's alt-right, but then there's real racist. And so my thing is, I asked Alex Rubinstein this. I said, Bill O'Reilly, would you work with Bill O'Reilly? And then of course it was the whole answer, whatever. But the thing, like, my issue is the greater good is lost. But when Chelsea Clinton retweets Bill Kristol, who's a neocon, who actually, if it's not for Bill Kristol and other writers, we don't get into Iraq, because he was a leading neocon to get us into Iraq. He's an editor for the Weekly Standard, very conservative guy. Yeah. So he's polished. He's not going to say stupid things to get Twitter all crazy, but he's more dangerous.
Yeah.
So it's just like the real dangerous people they're cool with, because they don't create a big uproar. But the people who are bloggers, they're like, oh my God, did you see what he said? You see what he said? It's like, right. Yeah, okay. But what about if you could, in some way, on one issue, even a retweet, Tim, even a retweet is viewed as blasphemy.
Yeah, man.
To a lot. I mean, that's insane.
It's unfortunate, bro. I don't think people truly believe that way. I don't know. Maybe they do. Like, you know what? We all have, you know what? Once again, we can all have different opinions. It's just that, and that was the point when Ben said we need to go after these people. We need to fight these people. When you make statements like that means harassment. That means bullying. You can't tell people you need to fight these people, specific people, or specific person. Then that's where it is. But if you just have an opinion, dude, like, I'm not going to go in on a person for an opinion, and I don't want people going to, I mean, everybody's got opinions. We're going to disagree on certain opinions, you know, but it's just that, like, call of arms thing. Like, we need to go after these people who believe this. I don't co-sign that, and I got to stand up on that point. Yeah, man.
I mean, you know, you should never have to disavow anything if you don't believe it.
I disavow Brussels sprouts. I disavow Jamie Presley, I think his name is. I don't know if he's a country western singer. I disavow him because I forget his name. And I disavow the San Francisco 49ers for what they did to Kaepernick. And I disavow the owner of the Ravens for saying he was going to pick up Kaepernick, well, for coming out and saying, well, you know, he couldn't help us when we obviously could help you. So I disavow those things. And that changes nothing. Ravens are still going to play, and Presley's going to still fill audiences, and Ted Nugent's still running, and Kid Rock's still running. And like, me disavowing them means nothing. It's just it's just a loaded word, man. Hey, HA, what's up with North Korea, man? Is Kim Jong-un, is America going to have to bomb like North Korea or something? What's going to happen?
No, I don't think. And in fact, I think the biggest issue that people don't talk about is North and South Korea reunifying if there is a major collapse in North Korea, or if their government is, you know, destroyed. Because just like, you know, East and West Germany took a long time, but this would be even more difficult. And I don't think that North Korea, I think that that's the only thing they have. The nuclear weapons are the only voice that they have. So if it's their only voice, they're going to utilize that voice. I mean, they don't. I had a friend in the military, and they have the satellite photo of North and South Korea at night. The South Korea is all lit up, and North Korea have no lights at night. So there's no lights. There's literally no lights. Their electricity is not running 24 hours a day in most of the country. So you're talking about a country that they don't even have light at night. So
yeah, man. North Korea has a banjo with one string, and that's the nuclear arsenal or whatever. And they just sit there, ding, 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 playing that one string. You know, so like, that's crazy, man. I've been doing a lot of coverage of Debbie Wasserman Schultz over there in Florida, man, and I'm looking at the Sun Sentinel. What is up with these guys? These guys seem like they work for Debbie Wasserman.
Yeah, well, it was an interview and then she was like, yeah, I would do it all over again. Don't you love when, like, criminals, the political criminals, that they're just like, we didn't do anything wrong. I'd use the server again. It was for convenience.
Yeah.
You know, I had no problem at all. This was great. So they have no shame. You and I and normal people have shame. Like, we have, and I guess, like, in nowadays, it's actually like lucrative to not have shame.
Yeah, it is lucrative not to have shame and be shameless. That's the show, It's popular. Yeah, take me as I am. I'm going to be who I be. That type of attitude. Whatever. Like, it's been around for a while. Whatever. That whole attitude, man. But you're right, man. Like Debbie Wasserman, what I found so insulting about it, man, was she was like, hey, I was trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to do the right thing by not firing this guy who's under investigation until they put the cuffs on him. I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm a people person. I'm a saint. My heart was with him. It's Islamophobia. They were trying to attack him based on race, and I had to defend him. So what does that say about the other 30 officers that fired him? So you're the only one who's not a racist? Is that what you're saying? And like no one, like if I interviewed her, I would ask her that. So you mean, he's worked with you, Awan, Imran Awan worked with you, and you felt that you needed to keep him on, regardless because you were doing him a favor, or no, because you wanted to do the right thing. So would that mean that the other 29 officers that fired him, they weren't trying to do the right thing, or maybe just your judgment was a little off as far as this? So like, at least ask a question. At least ask a question. Sun Sentinel, that was more like they were just like taking notes and just like writing down whatever she said. Like, okay, cool, sounds good, Sounds good, Debbie.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And that's the thing. I mean, it's you're not going to get with media today, you're not going to get that. And that's why I'm so like extreme in my message. And that's why, I mean, you do your thing, we do our things. You're not going to get any objectivity when it comes to a scandal with Democratic Party. Imran Awan stored, or the Awans, all of them stored congressional data on offsite servers, according to the Daily Caller, Fox, other publications. Hillary Clinton stored top secret intelligence, or she stored information that was then retroactively classified at Platte River, and then Platte River, because they stored all her emails before they were classified. So they had to have stored classified emails. All 60,000 Platte River had. Then they sent that 60,000 to Dado, which is a storage firm, a cloud storage company. You have a tech background. What is that? I mean, you have a cloud storage company. You have Imran Awan storing offsite, information offsite. And if this took place with Trump, they don't even have, the Republic, like with Trump, there is no evidence of anything. There's no evidence of anything, but they're like spinning it and spinning and spinning it with Hillary Clinton, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the Awans, the whole scandal, Loretta Lynch. There's evidence. Like, she met on a plane.
Yeah.
There's redacted notes. There's evidence. But then you get dumb headlines like, Mike Pence just turned over his emails, but people are still talking about Hillary's. Like, no, Mike Pence didn't put top secret intelligence. He might have misused emails, but he also used a government email,
right.
And he never put top secret special access program intelligence on a cloud storage company.
A lot of differences between her and Mike Pence. Mike Pence did not use MikePence.com. He used like Gmail, which has its own checks and balances. Like if you use Gmail or Yahoo, at least they have a staff that works 24/7. At least, they have the state-of-the-art tools in place on your account, and you're also not just on your own private IP address, but you're protected inside of the DMZ or whatever. You have your firewalls or what have you. That's all in place by professionals. Like this was like one person, like the guy Palagiano or whatever. Yeah, that guy. He set that up himself, man. Like, come on. So there's a lot of differences. And as you pointed out, H.A. Goodman, Mike Pence used both accounts at different times, but Hillary never used her government address to conduct business. Like, she never used it. You understand? Never used it. It's like, screw you. I'm going to do me. You know what I mean? And I'm just going, whatever. Talk to the hand, State Department. Talk to the hand.
Talk to the hand.
Talk to the hand. I hated that. Didn't you hate it? Didn't you hate that shit, man?
Talk to the hand, James Comey.
Talk to the hand. Talk to the hand. I'm going to take your hand and shove it up in it. But,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And that's the thing, someone told me today, well, okay, now the Young Turks, they're trying to say, well, why focus on 2020? You should focus on 2018. It's like, oh, because if we pretend 2020 is not taking place, that'll help us win. I see. That will actually drum up the enthusiasm needed to win both houses of Congress.
So they have a strategy of what? What's their strategy, HA?
Don't talk about anything controversial. Just accept Kamala Harris for the eventual nominee that she is.
Dude, I woke up this morning, man, and I grabbed my phone and I started recording some thoughts I had about identity politics, right? And dude, I just want, and I know it's going to sound really bad when I tell you this, man, but HA Goodman, I like better when we just have old white guys running. I'm serious, man.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds kooky, but let me explain for all the people that are about to call me names like coon and sellout. Listen. When you have a white guy running, you can hit him as hard as you want. You can be as critical as you want. No one's going to defend him other than his friends. Like no one's going to call you sexist or racist or a homophobe unless he happens to be gay. But no, let's pretend for this instance that he is I forget all the terms you would use, but let's just say he's a person who's not a homosexual. He's not gay. He's not of the LGBTQ. So you can go after that guy for everything. You can go after him for his record. You can go after him because he didn't, shave. He didn't wear a lapel pin. Like, you can go after that guy for everything he's done. But when we start throwing in, it's like I'm noticing that they're using black folks and women as a force field around BS. Like, I should be able to call Kamala Harris out for when she was a prosecutor and not be called sexist or that I hate women. They can't say I hate black people. They could call me a sellout, though, because she happens to look black when, okay, she has brown skin. So that means I can't call her out for, I don't know, not prosecuting Mnuchin. I can't call her out for, look, a 60-year-old white guy who wanted to run for president, who was a former prosecutor and an attorney general in a state that locked up as many minorities and deported as many minorities and had such hard laws, strict laws, and she wasn't given good time or none of that, and then had the big house and had slave labor, prisoners working in the big house to save money. Like, all these things that she did, that guy no one would be talking about that guy running for president. He'd just be some white guy who needs to be quiet because he didn't have a shot. But since it's Kamala Harris, and don't get me wrong, she's very talented. She's good at her oratory is on point. She seems sharp and intelligent, like I said. But dude, with that record, with the things she's been doing, she'd be crucified. And for you to say I can't go after her, like I said, that makes me think maybe we need to get some old white guys back in here. At least that way I can go at them without being called all these labels.
Exactly. I see the point entirely. But on Twitter, the social justice warrior is going to hear what you just said and said, Tim Black demands only white people run from now on. Nazi, sexist Nazi.
Coon, cho.
But yeah, it's like Twitter is like, but the thing with the Democratic Party is that people don't understand they say Donald Trump has low approval ratings. Look at his low approval ratings. Barely above Trump is the Democratic Party. They have similar approval ratings. It's the same issue with Hillary Clinton. Mm-hmm. So whereas even in 2015, maybe Democrats were seen a lot better than they are now, Hillary Clinton had the same, or virtually the same favorability ratings as Trump, a little bit better. But with Democrats, you need voter turnout. Mm-hmm. Republicans, it doesn't matter whether they think Trump's tweets are bad. They're going to vote for Trump because at the end of the day, all of them, whether they tell you on Twitter or not, they want a wall. Or they're cool with the wall. It's not like, to them, it's like, whatever, wall, no wall, as long as we have a Republican there. Democrats are not going to get voter turnout with Kamala Harris because she's establishment. Now, if you had Anina Turner, there's another black woman that could actually win because she would actually unify the HA Goodman, Tim Black, and Neera Tanden.
Yeah.
If you have Tim Black and Neera Tanden voting for the same candidate, Democrats are winning every single election, congressional, presidential, everything. But if you do not have Neera Tanden and Tim Black and HA Goodman, or you're not going. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen because it's not a matter. It's not a matter that of our followers or people who watch us on YouTube. It's a matter of there are people within the progressive or liberal movement or independents who hate the Democratic Party for what they did, for cheating Bernie, for standing for war, all of these things. If you hate the political party, you're not going to go out. Trump got more blacks and Latinos in terms of a percentage to vote for him than Romney did.
Absolutely.
So I think Romney got 6% of black voters. He got 8% of black voters. Trump did. So he did better than Romney. And, he did better than Romney. And he did, and Latinos, a higher percent of Latinos voted for Trump than Romney. He got 29% of Latino voters, I believe. But you're not going to win Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania. It's not a matter of Kamala Harris. It's a matter that Kamala Harris, we know, is the epitome of the establishment.
And you know what? And I agree with everything you just said, HA, man. I just wonder if they're going to say, hey, look, we're not going to give you the nominees that you want. We're not going to back candidates that we know that you want. Then, at least have the decency to say, well, you know what? If you don't support us, we get it. Because we're not putting up candidates that you like. At least admit that, and then we can be like, okay, cool. But what they do is they don't put up the candidates we want. They in fact they hold them back and they kneecap them. And then when we walk away, they say, hey, you should be with us anyway. You should be here. It's like, no, that doesn't even make sense. So, like Joy Reid, she did a segment defending Kamala Harris. People are, criticizing her. Joy Reid, you are a friend of Nina Turner's. Why didn't you bring up Nina Turner as another option for, endorsement or for what's coming as a future leader in the Democratic Party? Why didn't you bring her up? See, so I don't know why she felt like Kamala Harris is the only woman that she could have mentioned. She could have mentioned Nina Turner right there, and I think she should have. And I think it's telling that she didn't. Because like you said, HA, that would unite the left and others who believe similarly. In the gooey middle as well. Just because you would think they want to win. I don't know if winning is really the priority of the Democratic Party.
They don't want to win. What they want is they want their groupthink. It's like a table full of cool kids at the cafeteria in high school, and they don't care about anything else, and they just want their own mentality, groupthink, and they don't realize that no one gives a fuck about Russia. No one cares about Russia.
Dude,
no one cares. I've been told stop talking about Hillary, but we're talking about Russia, so I'm going to talk about the primary, Hillary, everything.
We're all the videos saying stop talking about Russia. I mean, stop punching left, you cowards. Punch up. Punch up. Stop punching left. Come on, or stop. You know what? Stop punching on your same level and stop punching down. Stop punching up. Punch up to the bastards that are really screwing it up for you. If you're mad that you got Trump, you should blame no one else except the DNC. You got to blame the guys that gay the guy or gay the woman that gay the guy. You just can't blame, us. You got to blame them. That's who you but see, you're scared to blame them because, you want to get a job with them or you want to stay in their good graces or you actually who actually gives a damn if Neera Tanden unfollows them? Like, come on, man. Dude, that's crazy. So, like, you can't care about stuff like that. Like, dude, you got to speak your truth speak truth to power and speak truth to the powerless or for the powerless. And you can't be worried about people following you. Like, Donna Brazile follows me. I didn't ask her to. And if she unfollowed me today, I wouldn't lose a... Dude, you know how much sleep This is how much sleep I'd lose if any establishment, anyone, I don't care if it's Democrat or Republican or independent, dude, I can't even, my fingers aren't touching, but they're really close. I don't care about that, and you shouldn't care about that either. You know what? Leaders should not care about that. In fact, I think decent people who got their eyes on bigger issues shouldn't care about that.
Exactly. No,
I agree.
I agree 100.
It's crazy.
I agree 100% with you, and that's the thing. They truly believe that the country hates Trump. They look at Trump as this alien anomaly life form that it just is this crazy, oh my God, he was so lucky he won. I've been told this by many people. That was an anomaly that just took place because of a historical trend. Actually, people were saying that the historical trends were going to break and all these things. Everyone was 538. The math was going to lead to a Clinton victory, 80, 90%. Trump wasn't even going to be GOP nominee. Mm-hmm. So these smartest people in the room are actually the biggest freaking morons on the planet. And it's a bubble, but that bubble is not Wisconsin on election day. Wisconsin hasn't voted for a Republican since 1984. Michigan and Pennsylvania haven't voted for a Republican since 1988. So you can have the Michael Moores, the Keith Olbermanns, the Neera Tanden, the Joy Reids, the Rachel Maddows. They weren't enough to stop Trump when he actually wasn't even president. Trump was just a reality show guy and he won. So imagine if he's president, even if he doesn't, do anything or continues to do whatever he does, he's still going to come in as president. He's going to have all those advantages.
A.M. Joy, she said something about like us just being upset that Bernie lost, and that's not it, man. Like, give me, I support people in that parties, people in policy. That's it. And not propaganda. That's what I support. You give me a great candidate who's about the policy and it's a good people and I can look at their track record and when I ask questions, I'm not called sexist or racist, but you're like, give me answers and I can mull them over and see, make a decision. Well, that's the way it should be done. It shouldn't be done because you want to brutalize, like, you want to bully us into like coalescing around some BS. I'm just not going to do that. And in the real world, most people don't care anyway. Like in the real world, a lot of people, they're turned off to politics because it's full of lies and deceit, and it's full of this propaganda game. So most people, they go, bah. So yeah, I think Ben Dixon made a point during your debate that instead of working with the alt-right, won't you work with people who are disaffected, people who don't vote? Yeah, it's hard to have a conversation with those people because they're looking at this shit show. And they're going, screw politics. So we got to work with the people that are engaged in politics. You know how hard it is to tell. It's like the hardest sell in the world is to have to educate somebody on what you're talking about. So that's a really hard thing. You know that. I think you've been in sales before, HA. Like if you got to educate somebody like this is a phone. They're like, what the hell is that? It's a phone. Like that's a hard sell. But somebody goes, oh yeah, I heard about that. You did? What do you think about it? Like then you got a conversation. It's an easy sell. So it's not just that easy to go to people who don't believe in politics at all and sell them on being involved in politics and why voting is important and it's not all rigged and it is rigged, but there's certain things we can do and like that's a hard sell. And I think it's you're being a little intellectually dishonest to suggest that that's an easy task. You feel me?
Exactly. And also if Joy Reid said, oh, you're just upset Bernie was cheated. Yeah. And yeah, it's true. That's actually a good reason to still be upset because it's not a matter of you have to. I always say this to one of my friends he loved Bernie, but he just voted for Clinton. And I say, I'm willing to go another 4 years, 8 years of Trump for the Democratic Party to actually stand for something. I'm not going to change. But his vantage point, his argument is, you see what you did, you brought Trump, and then I come back and say, yes, and I will do it again. So who's the crazy person here? Who's the person? See, the Joy Reids of the world know they can't win without the disgruntled Bernie voters.
They don't. I don't think they accept that yet.
They don't accept that.
They don't accept that, bro. They actually believe that.
But they will when Trump wins again.
Look, they've been building all this fear of Trump and Russia, and it hasn't helped them win a bunch of elections. It just hasn't. It hasn't been working even on a state level. But they assume that it will work in 2020. I don't think it's going to work, man. You're not going to be able to game the system. You're going to have to put forth a candidate that excites the people, that gets them up, gets them rejuvenated, that gets them want to be involved, gets them to want to stand in that 4 or 5 hour long line. Like, you have to get people excited. And if you can't do that, that's on you, man. If I go to your restaurant and I don't like the food, that's on you. It's not because I need my taste buds analyzed and I need to know what a good hamburger is and how dare I not get this. This is a black-owned hamburger shop. At least the owners, the person you see is black, so it's black. No, it's not. It's owned but no, but forget that. Oh, and it's a woman-owned business, and it's like, okay, great, but no, but actually it's a bunch of guys, old white guys behind her. You just see the woman in front. But anyway, like if I go to your restaurant, I don't like your food, man, make better fucking food. Don't tell me how I have a problem and I don't still know what good food is. And that's a losing strategy. And one last thing, HA, Joy Reid and Rachel Maddow and Chelsea Handler, who I did a video about today, they're all just as pissed as Bernie supporters. Oh, they're pissed. You can see it coming out of their eyes. They're glaring. They're pissed off, man. They wanted Hillary to win very badly. It would have put them in a better position monetarily. We know that. And though Chelsea Handler does get more material, but the network's doing better. But I think these people are just as bitter. There are a lot of Hillary supporters who are just as pissed off that Hillary lost as we are that Bernie was robbed. So let's stop acting like anger or bitterness is something only reserved for people who supported Bernie Sanders.
And I mean, that's the thing. Why not ask why people are angry? Why not, instead of saying, like you said, stop being angry? Yeah. Why? Because I told you in Russia. No one believes that Russia stole the election from Clinton. Even the people who are perpetuating the myth don't believe it. What they're hoping, because they're smart enough to know it's all bullshit. What they're hoping is that they talk about it enough that the Awan scandal and Loretta Lynch, and James Comey, and Platte River and all these other things will just go away. It's all relative.
Right.
They don't want to say it's all the same. Don't you know this is the way it's played? Kamala Harris, what's in the Ro Khanna, and they don't get it. It's not. There was a moment in time, a small, tiny moment in time. They should do like a science fiction movie on this, like a time warp, where Bernie Sanders actually united the entire whole spectrum of the Democratic Party. Wow. And even people voting for Clinton were saying, yeah, Bernie is cool and all, but he can't win. They weren't saying I disagree with Bernie. I was saying I disagree with Clinton. You were saying you disagree with Clinton. Nobody, even the near attendants weren't disagreeing fundamentally with Bernie. There was a moment in time where we could have had 8 years, at least 4 years, of the most progressive presidency, and we would have won the Senate. The Congress would have been different, because that voter turnout, people just going that force. I mean, you had voter if Bernie was if it was November 8, 2016, you had Bernie Sanders, and you had breaking up banks, you had all of these things, ending the perpetual wars, banning fracking, all of these, single payer. You could have had all of that. But you fucked up and you cheated and you lost. And now enjoy Trump. Fuck it. Because the thing is, Joy Reid, the condescending, that's not going to, when someone is attacking you, you are not motivated to do great things.
You're definitely not motivated to dig in your pocket and throw them money or go to their rallies or stand in lines to vote for them. Like, I don't know what world. It's like that, that it's just like elitist mindset. We're going to treat you like crap. You're gonna be mad. It's going to insult you. But then you're going to go do what we want you to do because, we own you. And, like, people are going, nah, dog, you really don't. And they're like, what? How dare you not be owned by us? How dare you not bow to us? What is this? Oh, look at this. He think he just going to do what he want to do. She thinks she just going, is she walking out on me? I know she not walking. Are you walking out on, that attitude? It's like, yeah, listen to the door sound, listen to the tires peel as I bend the corner. Hit the corner on you. And I don't know why. Joy, come on, Joy. You've been around a little bit. I think you know better than that attitude. And no amount of showing up at black churches once every 4 years is gonna do it. Like, not now, man. The consciousness, HA brother, I believe the consciousness of American, the temperature is anti-establishment. It's not just on the left. It's also on the right. They had a coup over that side. Look at what's going on. Wake up and smell the coffee. What worked 8 years ago ain't gonna work 3 years from now. It's just not.
No.
It's just not, bro.
And what didn't work in 2016 will definitely not work in 2020. It said definitely not work. What happens, Tim, if there are black conservatives? What happens if there's a black what happens if there's a black conservative woman?
Wow.
That Trump, I should know her name, but Trump retweeted a black conservative woman who this woman like grew up in an impoverished area, and now she has her own like the black conservative show. But politically, what happens when a Latino Republican or an Asian Republican? So you have the identity politics is like paper thin. It's really just like you can tear it up, and it's what happens when you are forced to debate a black conservative or a Latino conservative. It's like the identity doesn't work on their side too, so they can't use the identity to bolster their point as well. And so it's just there's so many failed strategies, and it's all about shame. It's all about trying to shame people into like bully people into falling in line.
Yep.
And it's just like when you said like, I know you're not doing this, right? I know you're not doing that. But the Democratic Party, all they do is say, I know you're not voting for Bernie. Okay, I know you're not voting for Jill Stein. Okay, I know you're not talking about Kamala Harris. Okay, I know you're not disrespect. I know you're not not believing that Russia did it. I know you're not yet. And every time it's, we're doing it. Yeah, we're doing this. Yeah.
Jesus.
But they don't. But they get like. I guess we'll wrap it up in a couple minutes. But they get rich no matter what, Tim. So
it's all about the dough, man. It's all about their base. The base and them dollars and the donations and the special interest and all that good stuff, man. So, but look, man, man, I think we're fighting a good fight for a reason, and some people don't think so, but I think we are. And look in the mirror. Can you look in the mirror at night, HA Goodman?
Yes.
Or in the morning, whatever they say. I don't know how it goes.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. Me too, man. I look right in the mirror, like, need to do some sit-ups, but other than that, I'm feeling pretty good.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, dude, I've been out in D.C., man. I got some videos coming, some footage from my last trip to D.C.
Stuff.
Dude, I got some great stuff I'm going to upload soon, man.
You gotta show Jimmy Kimmel and Fallon, all of those. You gotta show them, because it'd be like Tim Black on the street, and you do it great. I mean, like, you're personable and you walk up to people, and I mean, you definitely the late night talk shows definitely have to catch on. But
yeah, man, we'll see what happened, man. Like Hannity put this guy on his show that was like saying a bunch of this guy. Now I'm not gonna call him the C word like Ben called me, but this guy. Oh man, if there was ever a guy looking to get on the train with Tariq Nasheed and those guys, like, oh man, like Tariq Nasheed puts these people on this soul train, but it's not. They don't use the word soul. Like, this guy was horrible, but possibly some people will check out my footage and hit me up, talk to me. HA, man, anybody out there new who doesn't already subscribe to HA Goodman, why don't you go do that now? HA Goodman has a great YouTube channel. He puts out a lot of great material. And there's no reason why you should only have one channel. I've been hearing lately a lot of people talking like we should only have one channel, like only watch this. And no one asking like, why? There's like, why? Like, why are they saying that? So anyway, if you watch me, watch HA Goodman. Watch Nico House. Watch Hard Bastard. Watch other people too. Like, there's no reason why I should think that I should be able to keep my audience to myself when you got 1,000 TV channels you can watch. Why would you only watch one person?
Exactly. And exactly. And this and why would you only want to listen to the same CNN, MSNBC bullcrap?
Right.
That's always wrong. And they oh my God, Trump and Russia and but Tim, you are the man.
You the man too, HA, man. Go follow HA on Twitter, HA Goodman Author. And man, look, man, thank you once again for an amazing show, bro.
Thank you as always. I look forward to next week. And Tim, thank you so much, man.
You got it, man. Look, guys, tomorrow I got Jay Fod from Redacted Tonight. He's going to be in the house. And on Thursday, we have Jared Beck right off his trip over to H.A. Goodman's house to do a show this weekend. So Jared Beck, attorney for the DNC fraud lawsuit, will be here on Tim Black at Night Show. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Peace, man. All right, guys, thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
There's no sellouts. H.A. Goodman, there's no sellouts. Tim Black, there's no sellouts. H.A. Goodman, there's no sellouts. Tim Black, can you hear me? Can you hear him? Can you hear him?